Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday in Georgia, and that means it's time for Community Focus. I'm Tim Eccles. She's Faith Henning. She's at the Capitol. I'm in an undisclosed location. But we're talking about Flowery Branch today. And I don't know how many of you have been to Flowery Branch, but it's the home of the Atlanta Falcons, that's for sure. And we've got some fun guests today. We're going to be talking to Eagle Ranch, a longtime charity children's home in the area. So it's great to have Kate and Andy on. We'll be talking with them about their programs. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing well. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you. We're going to have Sergio Paz on. He worked with the Gwinnett Church's production team. He immigrated here from Venezuela. He works for Orange, and we're going to be talking with him about some of the great work that he's doing at Gwinnett Church. Sergio, how you doing?
Hi, sir. How are you today?
Great. It was wonderful to meet you at my daughter's house and get to know
Yeah.
you guys. And we're going to be talking to Rob and Tom with Electrotherm about their technology that uses waste heat. And I'm all about using waste to turn it into something good. And Faith's going to move everybody to the green room except the mayor, because we do have Mayor Mike Miller with us, and we've intercepted him off of the golf course. Because, Mayor, you teach people how to play golf for a living. How was that?
It's fun. I always heard people say that if you don't want to ever work in life, pick something that you enjoy and make it a job. And I'm blessed that I've been able to do that. So there are worse jobs to have, but I get to spend my day at the golf course and I get paid for it.
Wow, Mayor, I had a chance to go out to UGA the other day for an event with our building and trades union and do Top Golf, hitting it into the stadium. I don't play golf, but I actually enjoyed that. Top Golf seems to be all the rage.
It is a huge nationwide. It really has transformed the golf industry, and with the pandemic, we've seen an explosion in golf. And where pre 2020, you would have had dad on the weekends coming to the driving range. Now we see dad bringing mom and the kids, and so golf is in a great place right now. Talking economic development, we have Bridgestone Golf here in Georgia in Covington. Mm-hmm. And from my understanding, they are the only golf ball company that is making golf balls 24 hours a day right now. All the rest of them are struggling for golf ball production. And through the pandemic, because of our less restrictions, if you will, on things during the pandemic, they were the only golf ball manufacturer that continuously made golf balls and had golf balls through the pandemic. And they have leveraged their partnership or their company with the tire and rubber side of their business to obtain Surlyn, which is a major part of golf balls now. And they are knocking it out of the park, a Georgia business.
Wow.
Because of what we've done business-wise here in Georgia.
Wow. Mayor, Flowery Branch, my wife taught at Lanier Christian Academy, which is in Flowery Branch. I didn't realize how expansive Flowery Branch was, because, you go down Highway 53 and you think, okay, I'm going through here, but you guys have a lot of industry in Flowery Branch.
We do, and one of the struggles we have is that Flowery Branch city limits versus Flowery Branch, the postal code 30542. I believe the last I heard, if you take 30542, it's about 43,000 people in that zip code. About 9,200, I believe, was the census from 2020, the population of the city of Flowery Branch. The growth that we've seen, when I became mayor in 2010, we were about 3,750 was the population. So it's more than doubled. And with that, when you talk about industry, when I came on board, there was this construction project, if you will, that is now called Exit 14 on 985. and that apparently was talked about as early as 1998.
Wow.
Has since come to fruition, and from an economic development standpoint, Makita we broke ground a couple months ago on a warehouse, manufacturing warehouse facility for them. On the other side of that interstate exchange, we've got another one that's going in right now. I don't know that they've announced who that is. And it's booming in Flowery Branch. And it's things like the Exit 14
Wow.
that led that charge.
Well, we're going to be bringing in Rob and Tom, and they are in one of those buildings over there. Aren't you guys off Exit 14, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct.
Yeah, you're in the what's the name of the German company that your company is located in?
It's Bitzer. Bitzer. We're on 4080 Enterprise Way, so just off of 14. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mayor, congratulations on everything going on in Flowery Branch, and I guess I play putt putt, but I don't know. Could you help me improve my putt putt game? Is that possible?
Well, I tell people that I help my child. And that's one thing I always learned is you don't help your spouse and you don't help your children learn a sport or activity. Got my son hitting a golf ball, so if I can teach him, I think I can teach about anybody. So,
well, get back to it. Have a great day out there, and let's have lunch sometime. I really appreciate all you're doing over there.
I appreciate it. And y'all come see us. We got downtown redevelopment going on. I would be remiss not to mention that. On the downtown Main Street, we've got 7,700 square feet of retail space that we're looking to fill. It's a private-public partnership. There are apartments on top. I believe it's 7 apartments on top and 7,700 square feet of retail space down below that we're looking for tenants for. So if you know anybody that wants to put a good local restaurant or a boutique gift shop, something like that, we'd love to talk to them. And that's right on Main Street, Flowery Branch. And we've got a couple of parks. We got a farmer's market we just broke ground on. Lots of exciting things. Hopefully, we'll have a big grand reopening in December for a Christmas festival. And we do celebrate Christmas in Flowery Branch. We will have a Christmas tree. None of this holiday tree stuff. It is Christmas. And so,
oh, man.
We'll have that on December. Y'all come see us.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mayor.
Appreciate it, Mayor. Take care. See ya. Oh, guys, Rob, Tom, I had a chance to come to your factory the other day and was blown away. Electrotherm, what a great idea you guys have. And I'm just very confident that we're going to see a number of folks take advantage of it because your technology takes something otherwise that's just going up in the air and turns it into something of value. Tom, tell us a little bit about your invention. I think it's sitting behind you. You're in the factory. We got moments before the work begins, so we're going to catch it while it's quiet. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah. So the machine we make is a small heat engine. And all that means is it takes hot water and it makes electricity out of it. So we use sources of hot water that are usually a nuisance to the factory or are considered waste. So if an industry has heat that they need to get rid of, then we can take that waste product, that waste heat, and use it to make power and provide the cooling at the same time. The primary example is large engines. So large engines all have a radiator, just like your car does. So they have to cool. They have to take the heat and get rid of it to provide cool water back to the engine. And our machine can do that and make power at the same time. So we've taken something that was the largest parasitic load, the largest thing that detracts power from the engine, and we're making more power with it.
Wow. I am at a conference right now, and on this little patio behind me, the AC split for this room is right here down just to my left. And as you're sitting on the patio, the AC split exhaust, the heat is blowing on your back.
Yeah.
And I commented to my wife that this is a very poor design because you're sitting there and it's already toasty, and now
Right.
you're even more toasty. So, I mean, we have millions and millions and millions of HVAC units in Georgia. I mean, this represents a tremendous amount of energy, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, Tim, where we really fit best, let's talk about right close to home. We're installed all over the world, whether it's biomass in the UK or whether it's geothermal in Japan. But right in our backyard, we're looking at projects at the Gwinnett wastewater treatment plant where they flare gas that they don't use in their engine. And we can take that flare and shut it off so there's no emissions. We make a hot water loop, take the hot water to our unit, and create, really emission-free power from our equipment while shutting off that flare. Even at the landfills, there's flares going when the gas thing go to the engine. Maybe all the engines are on or on repair, and there's a flare going off, and it's like we can take that, shut off the emissions, and make clean electricity with it. So that's just a prime example of where we can work in our own community to help reduce these emissions, create renewable energy with our equipment.
Tom and Faith, I don't know if you've driven by a landfill or if you've ever seen video of a natural gas, well site, but you can even see this like at Colonial Pipeline at their fuel tanks where there's a pole, and then it looks like a torch, and that torch is going, and you ride by and go, what are they doing? Tom, why is that ignited? Explain that.
Yeah, there's several reasons that companies use flares, and some of them are good reasons for safety. If there's a release of gas or an overpressurization, then they need that to go somewhere and be disposed of, right? And so that you don't have gas pockets building up in a facility. So that's important, and that's a safety flare. There are other times when the gas is being burned off just because it's seen as a nuisance or there's not a need for it at the facility. And those are the times where it makes a lot more sense to try and utilize that resource in a positive way. And the difference between burning gas in an open flare and burning it in a controlled way, like in an industrial heater, the emissions difference is very significant. You can burn the gas much cleaner in a controlled environment of a heater or a boiler than you can just in the open flare up there whipping around in the atmosphere. So those are the things that we're trying to help with. Wastewater treatment plants, they generate gas in their digesters, and then they use that gas in boilers to provide the heat that they need. But typically, there's more gas than they have need for heat. So in that case, with the extra gas, they put it to a flare to get rid of it. And those are great applications for us because they already have the boilers that can burn the gas. They just don't need the heat. And our equipment takes the heat, makes extra energy for the plant, which is something that the plants need. We just installed our first unit at a wastewater treatment plant in New York on Staten Island. So that unit is there running to help them waste less gas. And we're talking with some of our local wastewater treatment plants for that same application.
Wow, that's very encouraging. As we talk with companies, do you find that there are plant managers, there are building managers that they haven't thought about this kind of technology? I mean, most of these engineers are pretty smart, and they probably recognize it. Is it a cost thing that keeps them from doing it? Is it a boss? Is it a regulation? What is it that's keeping people from being a better steward here?
I'll have to say it's probably they don't know that there's a solution. We were a startup company, started in 2005. Our first commercial unit went in 2012. Even though we're in 13 countries around the world, our biggest challenge is people don't know that we are a solution for this waste heat today. All power, is made from heat, whether it's a nuclear turbine or natural gas. It's high temperature critical heat. What's unique about our technology is we use very low temperature heat to make electricity. And we're working very hard to let the world know that there is now a solution for that. So, Tim, that's our biggest challenge, is really getting the word out that there's a solution for this wasted heat that in the past there wasn't.
Yeah. Well, you guys you guys had me at German because you've got German equipment inside your machine. The really important piece of your equipment that has constant use is a German compressor turning the other way, right?
Exactly. It's right over Tom's right shoulder. You can see it. It's that big block of iron. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
and
just
there we
started work
go.
back.
Yep, they
All right,
started
we're-
work back here in the factory, but that's our expander. So that's the piece that actually makes the mechanical work to turn the generator, and that is a refrigeration compressor that we're using in reverse. So Bitzer is the largest independent manufacturer of refrigeration compressors, and they have a very robust product that we're able to use in a different way. So instead of taking energy and doing the work of compressing, we're harvesting energy from a temperature difference at a site.
You guys are brilliant. You're
That's
brilliant.
so interesting.
And you're in Flowery Branch. So thanks for all you're doing. I can't wait to hear about how your contraption is being deployed all across our state. Good luck with that, Tom and Rob. Thank you so much.
thanks,
Thank
Tim.
you, Tim.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Hey, let's bring in Sergio. Sergio, you and I had a chance to visit on my daughter's back porch, and I was just excited to hear your story, and particularly how you left California, and came to Georgia because for your kids, for your family, for your quality of life. So, and you guys are working with North Point. I'm friends with Andy and Sandra Stanley, and have been for a long time. They just have been such a great a great family. The whole Stanley family, both Andy and his father, have impacted millions of lives. So welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, I mean, I think I love this state, and I love this county. It's so good because you can see the difference between California and Georgia, and it's, oh my gosh, it's a huge difference. The life here is cheaper. You can get house here, and actually, it was a funny thing because when we came here, we tried to know a bunch of people here, because we don't know nothing here. So we went to church. We tried to go to a small group and all the thing, and we saw that people have houses. They own the houses, and when we came here, we are renting an apartment, and we say, oh my gosh, why they have a houses? So don't make any sense for me, because in California all the people was renting, so they don't buy houses because it's too expensive. So I said, oh my gosh, this is different. We need to try to know more about that, because if all the people have houses here, is easier to get houses. And in fact, 1 year later we bought a house, so it was totally different than there. So
Wow.
yeah, and it was crazy.
Yeah, to all of my California friends out there on the West Coast watching, look, it's a different world here. It's just a different world. You can actually have quality of life. You can have a house. You can take the mask off. You can take the mask off and live your life. I'm fully vaccinated, Faith. I can be free, and I was recently in LA, and even with the vaccination, they were covered up and just absolutely paranoid out there. Sergio, tell me a little bit about your ministry at North Point.
Yeah. I have maybe 2 years now serving with them. I serve 3 Sundays in the month. And yeah, for me, it's really good. I love that ministry. I love a production team, create things. And all the people is so kind there. And yeah, I mean, from Venezuela, we have this kind of church there. It's the same vision, the same mission. And when we came here and we went to California, they don't have this kind of church there. So that was another reason why we moved here, because Georgia is the main state for all these churches with
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, for me and my wife and my family is really good. So
Yeah.
we try to serve, we try to involve in all
Yeah.
the community things. They have a bunch of things and a bunch of programs they made for families. So that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hang on, Sergio. We're bringing in our friends from Eagle Ranch, Andy and Kate. Andy's the program director, and Kate is the equine program manager. Faith, you're a big equine therapy person, right?
I am. I've been riding since I was a little kid, and have the pleasure and the honor of teaching part-time riding lessons and working with some therapeutic students, and it's just very rewarding.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit, Andy, for folks that don't know about Eagle Ranch. You guys have been out there for quite a while, and you initially it was for boys, right? And then you brought girls in, and
Right.
tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah, so last year we celebrated 35 years here at Eagle Ranch. We're a Christ-centered residential program for kids and families. The kids live here on one of our 10 residential homes, but their family's really involved. And our hope is ultimately to see that child return home in a stronger family unit. We're located right here off Union Church Road in Flowery Branch. We were here back when it was a lot of farmland. Now you see all the different stuff popping up, as Mike talked about. But yeah, it's a place where we can help these kids and families and walk alongside them. We have sort of 4 components to our program, and I'll talk about that because Kate, with the equine program, hits, I think, so many of those. We talk about counseling, home life, education, and spiritual life. And so I deal directly with spiritual life, mostly in my day-to-day. But we also deal with home life. So we're helping kids and families look at it and say, okay, here's how you do a chore, and here's consequences for your actions. Kind of setting up that day-to-day routine. That we have licensed counselors here at the ranch who are working with these kids and particularly their families to say, all right, what's going on? What happened in your family origin? Let's talk and look at that. And then lastly, education. We have a school here on campus, so we're educating the kids here at Eagle Ranch. I do want to say really quick before I pass it to Kate, I was thankful to see Sergio. We've been really grateful for Gwinnett Church and the partnership with them. Their Be Rich campaign has been incredibly gracious to us. And so I thought it was really neat when Sergio was on here. We've got a ton of respect for Gwinnett Church. Like you said, Tim, the Stanleys and the whole organization in North Point has been incredibly gracious with the way that they've cared for this community for so many years.
When my wife did a mission trip down to Honduras with our church, Prince Avenue Baptist, and they were giving out Charles Stanley's solar powered, basically, I guess, MP3 players with messages and the full Bible, right? So,
wow.
As they visited with people in the village, these people would receive something about the size of an iPhone that then had a solar panel in the back, and they could hear the Bible in Spanish and messages from Charles Stanley in Spanish. So their families just had enormous impact. Let's go quickly to Kate, because we've got just another minute here. Kate, tell us a little bit about the equine program and how it's received. I know that the girls in my family have stuck with horses longer than my boys. It seems like my boys loved horses when they were little, but when they started hearing the exhaust sound from cars, I don't know, they switched from horse to horsepower. And you guys are awfully close to Road Atlanta, and I know your kids out there hear those race cars on a regular basis, right?
They do, yeah. we definitely have a lot of girls that are interested in the horses, but we have a lot of boys too. For so many of our kids, this is the first time they've had the experience to be around a horse, so it's really exciting for them. And we can engage them in a couple different ways. We do a lot of horse care and education at the barn. We have kids that have adopted certain horses, so they come down and help care for them. I have groups that come down and help with barn chores, and then I get to teach an elective through our school on horsemanship. And it's just been so cool to see when kids are learning to take care of something outside of themselves, just how that grows them in compassion and empathy, and just really touches a lot of areas of their lives. We get to do recreation mainly during the summer, so we're doing horse camp right now. We're going on trail rides. Every kid is coming down multiple times throughout the summer, and that, even though it's not necessarily therapeutic in goal, it is still so therapeutic. We are having conversations about fear and overcoming obstacles and bravery every single day with these kids, and it's just so rewarding. And then we do horse therapy. So it is a form of more of a equine psychotherapy. So you have your traditional horse therapy, which is more physical, you're riding. We use the Gala model. So we are on the ground working with the licensed counselor and just talking through what the horses are doing and how that relates, and kind of creating a story out in the arena with our groups that come down.
Well, I mean, I grew up with horses. I had my first horse was a little Shetland pony that my granddad bought me when I had ear surgery. I had plastic surgery when I was 7 years old on my ears, and he bought me this horse named Baby, and Baby would bite me in the back as I was saddling, and would take a bite out. Have you seen this happen before? So I'm sitting here saddling, and the horse turns his head, crunch. And so then we bought Tonto, and Tonto was a Welch class, I don't know, Faith, what are they, class C, class D, the smaller Welch ponies?
You had the two worst ponies on earth.
Yeah.
The two worst breeds of ponies on earth.
And then they put me on this quarter horse named Tony, and he ran away, right? I'm holding the saddle horn. He's running. My uncle had to get on his horse to catch the horse to rescue me. And then I had this horse named Pistol Pete that was incredibly difficult to manage. And then I just gave up. I just
Tim, why did you get any of your children horses? You had terrible experiences.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for all your great work out there at Eagle Ranch. We appreciate that. Folks can find out more at eagleranch.org. To Rob and Tom, thank you for using your brain to help save energy here in Georgia and help companies save money. Sergio, thanks for the great work. Please give your local campus pastor my best over there, and thank you for all the investment you all make. And Faith, where are we going next week?
So we are going to Closer to Me next week. We're going to Social Circle down there in Walton County. And then after that, we're going to my alma mater, which is in Dahlonega. And then the first week of August will be in Canton. So we're going to be traveling around the state in the next couple weeks.
All right, y'all. Have a great weekend coming up, and appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Tim.
All right.